Welcome back to DarkenEmber Forge. Today we're going to do some science, see if there's any appreciable difference. Let's go. Oh, also, I'm in a new place. Hey, let's have a little tour. On this lovely day with my poor forge struggling away there, we'll start our tour. We have kind of a front porch sort of setup, my little car there. Some ceiling panels that are going to become a cover, a gazebo type for this forge to keep it out of the weather. Forge struggling away, propane, slack tub. We have the anvil. Behind you can see I have a little safety wall to keep the tent from getting too many holes punched in it. Not terribly exciting, just a little 10 by 10 tent. I have a little expandable table, mostly with junk sitting on it for now. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the tour. Humble beginnings. So far, about the main difference there is visually, is that all of the ones that came out of the forge, cooling off in the forge in the annealing process, are a lot darker, a lot more carburized with a lot more, I guess, gunk on them. Whereas the one that was normalized on the brick, just sitting out, doesn't seem to have that same level of darkness and muck and gunk and whatnot. Now between these, let me just throw the file on the floor, I would expect this one to be the softest. So I'm going to take the end here and I'm going to try to scratch it with the awl and see how it goes, pretty much. Okay, they're marked. Not sure how well that will show. Yeah, well, it looks like it shows pretty well. Yeah, that made a mark. I didn't put an excessive amount of force on there, but it wasn't a light scritch either. Did I go with or against the grain? I can't really tell. Yeah, harder to see the grain on that as there's so much gunk on the end. So we'll try again with the normalized one. Okay, that focus. I think that actually scratched a little easier, which seems backwards from what I would expect. Second test, I guess. Touch it with a file, see what happens. And this cockeyed end here, so yeah, the file bites into it fairly easily. And now for the normalized one, the one that has so far acted like it's softer, despite being not supposed to be. Oh yeah. Yep, that this cuts right through there. Huh. Well, that's backwards from everything I would have expected, which suggests either I did something wrong or I completely misunderstood. Anyway, proof is in the pudding. I will stick these in the forge, assuming it's anywhere near heated up. Get them hot, start hammering. Today we're going to start by shaping some chisels. Yep, chisels, plural. It's kind of a dirty trick asking everybody to guess what I'm going to make when I'm really just going to make a collection of punches and chisels. Haha. Alright, here we go. First on the block, the annealed one. Striking down here, trying to essentially square it off. Start by making a square and then you make a octagon and so on and so forth. It moved, I don't know, differently than I was expecting. I don't really know how to say for sure. This was our quote-unquote annealed one. I really need to brush some of that carbon. Alright, let's see, does little brush work on that? Yeah, more or less. Since these are going to be tools that I'm making that need to be fairly clean in the end, the cleaner I can keep them in the beginning, the easier it'll be, theoretically. Alright. Well, I don't think that was a very efficient use of heat, but we will turn it the right way so I can find my flat ends, not be crapping them with the tongs, and get that heating up. I feel a little bit vindicated now. Even though this scratched easier and filed easier, it seems to hammer harder. What? Maybe not. It is so hard to tell in this light when and where the heat's gone. Okay. Chalk that up to a thing you don't do. Let's see, figure out where your hands are. Make sure you got a good grip. Why is this not? Because I'm changing the size of it and these were already slightly too big. Woo. Yep, not accomplishing much at this point. Okay. Straighten that out. And we'll heat the other side. I like it when things start looking like they're supposed to be looking. I don't like when I make hideous hammer marks in it though. Yeah, something to that effect. This too will roll around and heat up. I don't know why I thought that would work. It didn't work at all last time. Some days you just don't know what you're doing. I'm not going to get the calipers out and check it. Trying to do that, and I don't know why. I've already shown myself that it doesn't work. That actually is in pretty decent shape for the most part. Okay. Yeah. Uh-oh, we got twisted. Let's see if I can get a shot of that. You know, maybe. Can I do this without burning the heck out of myself? Because it's still very hot. As you can see, it's sort of oblongish. The end's a bit curved because it was curving over. But yeah, it is definitely approaching square. How about that? Something working the way I want it to. That seems, careful, dum-dum. Don't smack that when it's getting cold-ish. It's pretty exciting. Back to the normalized. Wow. How corkscrewy can you get? Why is it I'm afraid that as I work on these tools, they're going to answer that rhetorical question for me? Don't you hate it when you completely forget what you were trying to do, then do something else? Yeah, I wish I could focus long enough to do like one thing all the way through and not forget. Troublesome though, my forge is making me frustrated. I was thinking a proper stand was going to be my next purchase, basically, proper stand for my forge, but I'm thinking upgrading the burners is going to be my next set. The one in the middle keeps going out, so the heat is kind of all over the place. It's very frustrating. Sliding away. That one's ready to take inside and file the ends pretty. To the brick with you. This one's ready to grind flat. To the brick for now as I reset everything, and then to the vise. One of those very high priorities for me is getting a proper vise. Nice post vise outside setups that I don't have to come running back down into my little hole here, far away from my forge, unless I roll it back down here and move the gas and blah, blah, blah. I think it's after getting the forge set up, getting a proper stand and better burners for it, then I think vise is next on the list. I've already made one big splurge that'll not be showing up for quite a while in videos, as I'm nowhere near ready for it. But it was fun, so I did it. Anyway. These need to be a fairly flat edge, so all of these ugly bits should come off. Unfortunately, I moved my hearing protection outside already, despite not needing as much there. Otherwise, I'd probably grab my grinder and sand this off right quick like. Ah well, it's good to do things by hand. Teach me control one way or the other. I think that's a good enough start, since these are going to get shaped and then filed again. My idea is, if I have it level starting out, that's less chance of me messing it up. This one has a high corner. Side sure is a lot noisier than the last one. Oh my god. Surely there's not enough heat left in these. No idea if that accomplished anything whatsoever. But it won't stop me from trying it again on the next one. Yeah, I don't think that's actually doing anything. But, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well finish her off. So guys, that's it all. That's it all. Yes, that's how this was typically put together. That's our low corner. There's still a lot to go here. Part of me wonders if I shouldn't just shape this into the chisel end. That once it's into shape, there might be less to cut out, or at the very least a thinner piece to cut out. I still have a long way to go. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try to make that a chisel end. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Okay. Back to the forge. Okay, we start with the shaping the striking end. I try and use these like they're offset tongs, apparently. That's probably why it's not all even. Well, yeah, that's why it's not even. Well, the main thing here is to try to get it necked down a little bit. But man, I did not get them very even. Yeah, I'm gonna heat that up and try to smooth it out a little bit. I cocked that one all up too. It's a tricky one when you're trying to hold it up at an angle and also hammer at an angle, so your angles match on each side. It's a very hard skill, and I do not have it. I think this one's even uglier than the last one. I'm going the wrong way here. Alright. Oh, great. Let's do some wood burning. Let's get all that crap loaded up. Yummy. Fun. Gee, if only I had a brush somewhere to clean all that crap I just put on it off. that one actually feels pretty good. Well, will that show up? Not at all well, okay. There we go. You can kind of see on the front of that how that's rolled over. That is what you call a cold shut. That's a place where the metal got bent over on itself, was nowhere near hot enough to weld, so it's just shut. So basically, if I don't end up filing that off and cleaning it up a bit, there is a chance every time I hit it that a piece could break off and go flying right back square in my eyes, because that's how it always works. Still, I think that one is domed over well enough. This one, sadly, will take more shaping with the file than I would like, but so it goes. Now that the striking end is all done, essentially, we can start on the chisel end. To start with, we're making what you'd call a split chisel, or a veining chisel sometimes. This one was one that had the side that I didn't quite file all the way, and as I'm sure you can see now, it's a little bit off center. It's not forming that nice fishtail shape there. But it's coming right along. I like that. Whoop. Now I got that all twisted. Inazuma was just asking me on my last video if the fact that they were a little twisted was going to be a problem or not. What I should have said is, nah, I'm just going to twist them up even more. More heat. Don't speak too soon, but this one's still looking good. Whoa, that's not good for you. Not good for your hammer, not good for your anvil, not good for the fact that I almost whopped myself in the face when it bounced up. The edge is about right. Now I'm just going to draw the taper up a little bit so it's not quite as sharp an angle. And then that's pretty close to ready for, well, the final shaping with the file. Get some cleanup and whatnot. Moving right along. Went at that one so aggressively, I pounded the backside flat. Oh, that wasn't what I intended to do. On the other hand, it's not as cockeyed anymore. Oh, lordy. I'm getting loopy. I think it's about time for dinner. Or a big old glass of water at the very least. Whew. That didn't bend to where I wanted it to. Come to think of it, I don't ever think I explained what this was meant to be. You might have noticed it looks pretty much exactly like the other, the slit chisel, the veining chisel. And that's because it basically is. Only this one, instead of making into a sharp cutting edge, I'm going to give a slight doming to, and it'll be more of a blunt chisel for putting in heavier ridges and such. I already have uses in mind for it for a particular project that is related to that mystical project I've kept talking about that I'm going to do for my wonder girlfriend that I needed all the tools for. Well, I don't have the proper tooling, the proper skills, nor the proper forge for it, so I'm doing an interim project which will be very soon after the scythe hook, and then one other project very close to my heart. On the other hand, as far as roughing out goes, I think this one, as rough and ugly as it is, it's going to be good enough for what I'm going to do with it. I'm calling this done. This is going on a brick, and then I'll work on finishing that other slit chisel. This one was doing so well for so long, and now it's twisted too. Bits of scale jumping up on you are so fun. Melt into your skin and just burn away. Joy, oh joy! Bloody well need to order another set of freaking tongs. One more heat to work on the taper since I got totally distracted. It's not the prettiest, but honestly, I suppose it's not the worst either. I'm pretty pleased with that as far as rough shape goes. We have a bit of a fishtail, a bit of a curve to the end, so when we make our first cut in something, we can just sort of walk it up and curl it up to stay within the proper groove, to keep our grooves nice and lined up. Yeah. And it has a reasonably thin, gradual, nice sharp taper. I like it. I am very pleased with that, all in all. Yeah, cool. Two brick. Well, there we are. Kind of hard spotting colors here in my little tent anyway. Not 100% sure if I need to make myself a little dark enclosure for some of it, or I don't know, add some curtains up high, maybe a tarp over top of it. I don't know. The nice diffuse light sure is nice. It's you know, there's shouldn't be anything glaring off my glasses except maybe that place where it's reflecting off my car. Hopefully not. I feel like in my rush and excitement to get out here and start smacking on metal and making some of these tools that I've been waiting on for a long while, I kind of neglected camera and such, so yeah, I'm gonna go edit this, see how it looks, and hopefully make any changes before I come back that are needed. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like if you like, don't if you didn't. Add any comments. What do you think of this? Did you guess that I was just teasing on my last one that, oh yeah, what other am I going to make other than a punch and a chisel? Well, how about 3 chisels and maybe 5 punches? Something. I'd have to double check my list to see what all I had in mind. I don't know if a touch mark counts as a punch. Oh. Anyway, have a wonderful day. aren't you? Well,